We've become clearer that we've passed a tipping point for the dieback of perhaps the majority of tropical coral reefs. We've seen an unprecedented coral bleaching event hit 80% of the world's low latitude reefs. So that kind of confirmed our or our collective deduction that the tipping point, the sort of temperature tipping point for corals was probably below 1.5 degrees C.
What happens with coral bleaching is that this symbiosis, this relationship between the animal and the algae, becomes disrupted. So the algae no longer stays within the tissues of the coral, leaving it without its color, leaving it weaker and vulnerable because it doesn't receive the nutrients and the food sources that the algae provides for the coral. This increase in heat has been exponential and it's very high, and the reefs are just not able to recover. So coral reefs are found throughout tropical oceans. We always think of the Great Barrier Reef as one of the largest reef systems, and it is. But we have reefs in many different parts of the world. In the Pacific Ocean, in the Indo-Pacific is where the reefs actually started. So that's the hotspot of biodiversity. And once we get to the Caribbean, we have less species, but we have still thriving ecosystems. What would I like to see in COP 30 this year? Well, we need stronger regulations for reducing greenhouse emissions. We definitely need this, and we need the commitments from the countries. The countries that are most affected, like the small island states, are all on board, but we need the larger countries that produce a lot of these greenhouse emissions to also support and create policies to lessen their impact. Because it's all going to not just impact reefs and ecosystems, it's an impact to the whole population. So there are different strategies that are occurring for the protection and the reproduction of reefs. So there's new technology called assisted evolution and super reefs, basically, or super corals, and it's basically helping corals in a lab and changing genes so that they can be more tolerant to heat stress. So this is all still very um, there's a lot of controversy over this because it's sort of like genetically modifying corals.
This is the overall trend for the last 25 years. The more science we've done to assess climate tipping point risks, the bigger those risks look to be, in the sense that the temperature at which we think the tipping points could be crossed keeps getting brought down as we push the temperature up. And as we study what the impacts would be more, we uncover more reasons for concern, to put it politely.